Her dad sold her soul to the devil. All he ever wanted was sons. When her two older brothers were born, he was overjoyed. But 3 years later, when Lily was born and her dad saw that the baby was a girl, he was enraged. She was his least favorite kid, and he never tried to hide it. Her mom and dad did not stay married, and unfortunately for her, her dad got custody of all 3 kids. And things just got worse from there. When she was 4, their dad got cancer. It was supposed to be terminal, but that's when he made a deal with Satan. 15 more years of life if he sold one of his children's souls. And big surprise, he chose her. The first time she remembered something happening to her was about a month later. She was in her tiny cramped room trying to sleep, and then she saw it. This thing in her closet. It was pale with gaunt, sunken eyes and a gaping mouth. Its long, bony fingers wrapped around her closet door. She cried for her dad, who stormed up the stairs and gave her a proper beating for crying and locked her in the room. As she cried all night, that demon simply watched her from the closet. Demons watching her were pretty normal from then on out. Sometimes it would be the pale, gaunt thing in her closet. Other times, a dark figure hovering over her bed. And on bad nights, a horned figure with glowing red eyes would stare at her, taunting her through the window. After a while, she stopped being scared of them. One night when she was 9, the gaunt creature was back in her closet, staring at her while she read. He or it began to make this really weird growling noise, to which she shushed him. Shh! In one swift movement, he tore open her closet door and stood fully, revealing he was taller than the ceiling itself. He bent his neck to fit under the roof, but for some reason, she wasn't scared. They locked eyes for a while, then she just went back to reading her book. He looked at her curiously for a while until her dad decided he wanted to be a horrible person again and threw open the door to yell at her for something. The entire time, the demon just watched. Thankfully, her dad left after slapping her across the face and making her cry for the rest of the night. The demon, who now looked at her with something more than curiosity, sat beside her on the edge of the bed as she sobbed for the entire night. From then on, things changed. She wasn't scared of the demons. She welcomed them, especially the gaunt-looking one who sat with her that one night. He would sit with Lily whenever her dad was bad to her. He never spoke and barely even looked at Lily, but all she cared about was that he was there for her. Lily even gave him a name, Papa. She remembers that one night she was 14 and upset because her dad had gotten into one of his moods and thrown a chair at her. When she ran into her room, she was relieved to see Papa crouched by the closet. "Papa!" she cried. She knew it was stupid calling a literal demon Papa, but he was the only one that ever showed Lily any sympathy. As she cried even harder, he looked her in the eyes and stepped out of the closet, then did something surprising. He hugged her. As she felt his icy cold hands embrace her, Lily should have been terrified, but she was filled with love. But one night, as Lily was reading in bed, she made a mistake. Papa, the demon, looked curious, so she decided to read out loud to him. She must have made too much noise though, because one of her brothers opened her door. He screamed at the sight of the demon, and their dad came rushing up. Papa, the demon, couldn't hide in time, and now her brothers, and her dad all stared him down. Now feeling cornered, he stood up, revealing his giant stature. Her brothers began to cry, and her dad ran off to get a vial of holy water that he had kept by his bed since the deal was made. As Lily tried to run away with Papa the demon, he stopped her and shook his head. They both knew it was too late. Lily cried as she hugged him goodbye as her dad approached them with the holy water and splashed it on Papa. Lily watched in horror as he let out a blood-curdling screech, then crumbled to the ground.
"There,"
her dad said.
"It can't hurt us anymore, sons."
Lily just laid over Papa, the pale demon's lifeless body, crying so hard that she didn't notice something else enter the room. It was large, even bigger than Papa, and had 2 large horns, a goat's head, and a large stick in hand. Lily's dad turned around slowly as it glared down at him. Its voice boomed.
"We had a deal. I granted you 15 years of more life on 2 conditions. 2. It was a misunderstanding, sir. You see, my daughter... You were granted 15 more years of life on the conditions that I get your daughter upon her death, and you never harm anyone ever again. I haven't, I promise."
The creature laughed.
"First you break a promise and now lie to his satanic majesty himself. You have broken my trust. I'm breaking off the deal."
Her dad got on his knees and begged.
No, please, I'll do anything.
Satan looked at Lily.
There is one way. If your daughter, the one you cursed, forgives you, I will set you free.
Lily's dad turned to her and put on a smile.
Hey Lily, what about it? Look at me. I'm your dad. I've been there for you. I'm your papa.
Lily winced, then looked at Papa's body on the floor, then back at her dad, and glared at him. My papa is gone. I'll never forgive you. And with that, Satan dragged her dad down to the netherworld. Lily and her brothers could hear his screams until they slowly faded away, to where he could never hurt Lily again. As her brothers cried, Lily walked back to Papa on the ground and kissed his forehead. Goodbye, Papa. Thank you.